Another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. We have a great show for you guys, recapping an always wild week at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. A ton of Twitter fan questions to get into, and of course some DFS picks to make you guys some money this week. Let's get into it. All right, as always, I'm joined by Trevor and Jeek. Let's just get right into the Waste Management Open. I feel like every year going through social media, Instagram, Twitter, everything, you're just seeing like so many viral clips from this specific tournament.
Oh, because
yeah,
that
that's
one hole.
the rowdiest tournament.
Oh yeah, it's the rowdiest hole in golf. Rowdiest hole in golf.
I could sit and watch that hole like the entire day, like the featured hole.
Oh,
Featured
absolutely.
come
I
through.
need to find some shade.
Yeah,
That
you
would
need
be
to-
a
or like
tough
if you're in a box, that'd be kind of nice too.
Well, have you seen the
Sitting there,
videos?
like watching the rest of the tournament on TVs up above. That'd be
Have
really
you seen
nice.
the videos? Have you seen the videos of the people like rushing in at like 4 a.m. to like get
Yeah,
seats?
that's
16?
crazy.
Yeah, so let's start
I don't
with
know how
that.
they
I
do
mean,
that.
like, I bet at some point we'll be going to this tournament at some point down the line, whether it's in a year or 2 years. But I feel like you have to have a strategy for that. Like, you need to like get in shape to do that like mile and a half run.
That mile and a
Maybe.
half.
You have to sprint.
Or we got to get inside the
Is
rope.
it really a
passes.
mile and a half? That's like by the end of the court, like 18th hole is like across like the water pretty much.
Or it's like
Because you have to
it's
run
like a
down
mile.
17 and
It's like a
18.
mile.
You
pretty
would
sure
have to, we'd have to get out a map though and like find the
Yeah.
most efficient route.
I 18's
You
like
just follow
along
the
the
crowd.
road. 18's along the road and 17's right behind that. I mean, I think I'm pretty sure 18 is like pretty close to 16 right there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And also, it's underrated that you're just I guess people start on the back, so you're still waiting for a good 7.
Well, on Saturday or
holes.
Sunday, you're waiting for like
Yeah, on Saturday, Sunday, you're waiting
Wow.
2
for
hours.
time,
Hmm.
more than 2 hours.
Oh
Well,
yeah, it's like
the
that's
round
probably
didn't even start yet. Yeah.
So
a lot more than 2 hours.
But everybody's just sitting there and drinking for like 4 hours. Like
that's why
By-
the sun
by
is
the time
dangerous.
by the time the first group comes through, it's already I don't know, noon, and you're probably already hammered.
yeah, right.
I
So the
know.
crowd's already really rowdy.
That's why I need to find some shade, or else I don't think I would make it out of this without just like sun poisoning, alcohol poisoning, all of the above.
We'd have to carry you out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It'd be worth it though. On that
Oh.
hole.
But of course we had Webb Simpson winning it. I was watching the last couple holes before the Super Bowl, which like it got dangerously too close to 6:30.
Very close.
Like if Webb Simpson didn't make that putt, I was like debating whether
think
I
it
was
was-
gonna change the channel.
I think
I
it
was
was
probably gonna change
perfect. It was perfect because it was like all this like drama in the tournament, and then like right like okay, that's over. Let's go to the Super Bowl now. It was like just starting the national anthem. It was perfect.
Oh yeah, no, I texted Jeek. I was like, "You want to cook up like a Tony Finau graphic?"
And I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, no. So like, I mean, anyway, I had to watch my Demi Lovato national anthem bet lose, of course.
Of course,
I couldn't be watching Webb Simpson and Tony Finau.
she tried to make the over, but couldn't do it. She tried
Yeah,
to
but you
pause.
gotta-
and
She
everything
had
like
that pause, yeah.
Like pause and long notes.
It looked like she was gonna miss it by like 30 seconds, but then she was
Yeah.
just like belting it.
She was trying for it.
Yeah. So you at least respect her for that.
Yeah, you do.
I made it out net positive out of the Super Bowl, which is all you can ask for.
As did I. I made it out more than positive.
So, but just like you gotta feel bad for Tony Finau.
Yeah,
I
he's-
just can't seem to win. I tweeted from the Twitter account. I said, Tony Finau, the king of solo second finishes.
Yeah, he was literally going to 17. He was up to 2 holes to play, and Webb buries the last 2, and then buries the playoff hole. It was Tony can't really, I guess you could
I mean,
tell him to
make a
bury one of those
putt,
holes, but yeah, he couldn't, and it's just
I mean, he was in
way
much.
very down the stretch.
Well, on 18, he was like a lot closer than what. Like he hit a monster drive on 18, where he was like
Yeah.
80 yards to the hole, and Webb
Yeah, he
Simpson had like
was.
130.
He
So
crushed
like,
that drive.
like I mean, you could say, oh, he should put it closer there, but like that's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I mean like that was just Webb Simpson having ice in his veins. I mean, one of the best
mean,
players
he's
on tour.
Always been a good putter, yeah.
The putt he made on 18 was a lot, like it's not an easy putt, and yeah, pretty much the
putting
same
stroke-
exact putt.
His
No,
putting
definitely
stroke
not.
looks so smooth too.
It does, yeah.
I mean, Tony
I think it's the smoothest on tour.
Finau's never been a sensational putter, and first of all, I love that green grip he has on his putter.
Yeah,
but like
I
he had a
love that.
putt, he had a very makeable putt there on 18.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I'm always sketched out by the claw grip, like putters.
Webb Simpson does that now.
Sergio does
I
that.
know. I just am.
I mean, some people doesn't work out too well, but like I mean, Finau's not the best putter, I guess, but Simpson's a pretty good putter now.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people do it. Our pro at the golf course I worked at this summer did it, and like he would just be like out on the practice green draining putts. But I also don't understand how you like keep that.
Do that.
I don't. Yeah, you need to teach
Like
me how.
you
to
try it,
do
you try it, and it's just like, wow, like I feel so unstable right now.
And then just some notable things that we had happen during the tournament. We had Finau, Houma, Justin Thomas. They were all wearing Kobe jerseys, of course. So that was one of the tributes. But the whole location on Sunday on 16 was 24 paces on and 8 from the left, which was that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it was
I like
pretty
that
cool.
a lot.
And Finau was fire on that hole like all week too, and he wore the jersey the entire
Did
week.
he have 3 straight birdies and then he parred on Sunday?
I think
Pretty
so.
sure. Yeah, all wearing the Kobe jersey. So that was pretty cool.
Did you see when he was making putts? He was like doing like the follow through of his hand. He made like a 1 foot putt and like still like
Really?
fall through.
I didn't see that. That's so funny.
I also saw like Greg Kittle do that last night in the Super Bowl. I saw
Greg Kittle.
George Kittle.
Wait, that's literally because of Pardon My Take.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Yeah. Oh my God. Of course I said that. I mean,
That's really
they're right.
funny.
It does sound better than George Kittle.
It does sound.
It does.
Yeah.
It's more
That's so
intimidating.
funny.
That's funny.
I'm a little biased.
Yeah, of course. And then also another cool thing that happened, not Kobe related, but our guy Harry Higgs, who becoming one of my favorites. After I noticed him at the what was the tournament right before this?
The Farmers Insurance.
The Farmers Insurance Open. I noticed him then, and like he played really well there, and then this week he drove the green on 17 and was like riding his driver like a horse, and then he just nailed the eagle putt from 80 feet away or something like
Right.
that.
Crazy.
That was a crazy putt.
Crazy.
Absolutely electric. I mean, he's way more electric than our current favorite player. I will say that. He at least has comments turned on his Instagram.
Comments turned on.
Dude, I'm sorry. Ches Reavie needs to turn his comments on. What PR agent said that was a good idea?
I don't know.
There's nobody that's gonna like shit on him either. Like nobody's gonna.
Best case scenario, he's gonna have us
very,
on there like hyping
likable
him up.
guy.
I would like the word might not even be likable. It's just like
Average.
generic.
Yeah, exactly.
Not in a bad-
There's nothing
it's
wrong with
just
him at
like-
all.
But he's our guy.
He just
He is.
doesn't do anything bad.
No,
So it's like
there's no reason. He doesn't win a whole lot, so there's no reason to hate on him at all.
if he's playing the players, which I would assume he is,
Yeah, I'm assuming he is.
we're calling him to the stand if we end up going, which starting to lean towards yes. And we're
Gotta
asking
make
him.
the cut for that to happen.
True,
Think
Yeah.
about it.
true. He didn't.
Yeah, maybe he hangs around on the weekend.
We're asking him why he doesn't have his Instagram comments turned on.
We are. That's one of our questions.
That is question number 1.
Patrick Diamond from the official Ches Reavie fan club
Yeah, hey, Patrick
and the
Diamond,
Pin High podcast.
noted Ches Reavie super fan. Why don't you have your Instagram comments turned on? Just wondering. I would be most loyal commenter. So yeah, I mean that about does it for the Waste Management Open. It's never. I mean, like, I don't really have an issue with Webb Simpson, like
No, neither do I.
good guy and stuff, but like, he's just like not that exciting.
He's just
Quick
not
stat.
flashy.
Quick stat on Tony Finau. in the last 3 years, including this year, he has 28. He has 28 top tens, including 3 this year, and no wins in the last.
As
3
in
years.
3 in 2020 already.
Yeah. And 2 in the past.
Like 3 weeks. So
yeah.
Jesus.
His only win was in
money
2016 at the Puerto Rico Open, and since then he's had at least 28 top tens, no wins.
We gotta start putting
and a handful of second place finishes.
Money on Finau top tens.
That's like literally he's always hanging around, always. It's crazy.
Is he playing this week?
I don't think he is.
Yeah, I feel like he's not.
I don't think
he's been playing a lot recently.
He has been playing a lot.
Yeah, I feel like I see him every day or every weekend.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing.
We keep picking him.
What?
So. We keep picking him, so.
Yeah.
I mean, Trevor just keeps recycling our old picks.
Yep. And it worked out the best this week. So
I mean, yeah, you got Finau last week, and yeah.
It was only a matter of time before it worked out.
His salary wasn't even that high. It was like 9,900 or something.
I think it was like 96.
96, yeah, something like that.
It's not even that high.
If you get someone he probably should have won. If you get someone who's second though at that,
that's
that salary, that's good.
He should have won. You're right.
I mean, we could talk about like this week. The top players played pretty well.
Yeah, it was
the top players that did well.
I mean, JT kind of snuck into the top 10 there.
He surged, yeah.
Yeah,
he did. He finished T3, which I didn't realize that at all.
Yeah, in the top 5. Yeah,
what
did he shoot on Sunday? He
shot had to have gone really low.
Like a 61 probably.
He shot 6 under.
No, so 66.
Yeah,
I think yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know because he finished so early.
He came out of nowhere. I didn't see him like. I turned on the very last few minutes, but
I mean, you had a couple guys with just like really low rounds this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, we can move on to the Twitter fan questions this week. We actually got a good amount this week, so keep sending those in, and we'll answer them, shout you out. Our first one comes from a loyal fan, Mike Ryder. He asked us if any of us have had lessons, and how often we get one if we do. I guess I'll start with because I am the outlier here. Never had a lesson in my life. How's it working out? You're
getting better. You're getting better.
I'm getting better.
You're getting better about that.
I tinker with my own swing. I'm self-taught.
Yes. So. If you had a lesson like every now and then, it'd probably help a lot. But
I feel like they totally switch your swing.
Probably.
I don't like it's.
Well,
like you can't totally switch it. You have to adjust to it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like my swing isn't as unconventional as it used to be as well.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So, but yeah, that's the answer to that for me.
Okay. And I guess I'll go now as the other mid handicapper player. I took a couple lessons last year. Shout out Pete Bell, my guy. I went once a week. For an hour, half an hour, I kind of forget. And you just kind of got to stick with it because I got really bad for a couple of weeks when I started taking lessons. I couldn't hit the ball anywhere.
That's the thing,
because he was tinkering with my swing, whatever. But I kind of stuck with it. I still didn't. I wish I had more time to take more lessons because I probably would have kept my swing more consistent that way. But now I'm just kind of between my old swing and my new swing, which is
mm-hmm.
He made my new swing a shorter backswing and all that stuff. But
I was gonna say, do you think it's worth it to just get one?
No, lesson? If you're gonna get one lesson, don't even think about it.
Maybe you don't have to get a ton, but maybe do one and come back a couple weeks later and see what happens.
I will say, if you're gonna get a lesson for one thing, definitely putting.
Because you can do
one lesson. Yeah, one lesson from putting actually got me a lot better at putting. Mm-hmm. Than one lesson swinging, because your swing just kind of is messed up because you're trying to find your tempo and your backswing and all that stuff. But putting, if you take one lesson of putting, you could kind of take that and practice that yourself whenever you want, because you could putt literally anywhere.
Exactly. Those drills are really nice. And I guess as a lower handicap, when I was younger, I had a lot of lessons, and I kind of over probably in early mid freshman, sophomore, junior high school, I had a lot of lessons too. The past few years, I mean, I've kind of it's kind of died down. I'll have like one lesson in maybe a summer or two, just to like check in if I'm really just like if I have like the shanks or something like that, if I'm doing something really bad. But I mean, it just helps you get back on track. I mean, you kind of suck for a little bit after a lesson sometimes, but after like a couple days, you get back into it and you feel like you're amazing. So
I was gonna say like kind of different, but like when I played baseball, like I would check in like towards the end just to like refresh. So and I'm sure it's the same thing just with like swing mechanics in baseball and golf. Like you just need a refresher. Like
exactly.
If you're already like at the top, like pretty good.
I would say the lessons I would have like over the summer, they'd be just checking in. So okay, I'm doing like this one thing wrong. Let's get back to me doing this thing right. And then like after 30 minutes, I'm back to hitting the ball perfectly, and it changes a lot. And
I will say.
And then I know, and after like over time, after the amount of lessons like you accumulate, like like you're doing something wrong, pretty much know, or you're pretty confident you know what you're doing wrong, so you can fix it better, and it just makes it like you don't have to go to as much lessons if you don't want to.
And I will say, if you're like a mid-level / high handicap and you're taking lessons, just stick with it, because like you're gonna get worse. Like that just happens. But the only way to get better, the only way to get better is to get worse. And like I remember I took lessons like a couple summers ago. Like I took like a couple lessons, and I was just like, it was the end of the summer, and I was like, I'm just not gonna take lessons anymore the rest of the summer, because like I'm playing much better with like my like old swing than my new swing. But if you're gonna take lessons, stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. So thank you to Mike for that one. Keep sending them in. This one is from Mike Fasano, of course. Our guy at Golf Visiting. He said, "What are your thoughts on Phil for some defending champ Magic this week at Pebble? Buy or sell?" And I'm kind of teetering on this one because I think Phil kind of thrives in the lightheartedness of this tournament, because like it's a pro am.
I was able to say that. I would say he's just like I feel like it's not as serious as other like PGA Tour tournaments. So he just like goes out there and has some fun.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
This is a big tournament where Phil usually ends up in a hospitality tent and has to hit off a hospitality tent.
Yeah, off the mats, and everyone goes crazy around him.
Yeah, so this usually happens in this tournament.
But at the same time, like I picked him in DFS the week he played at La Quinta, and like he got cut. So it's like he is getting older. He's still hitting bombs, of course, but I mean it's really hard to say.
He needs a consistent week. I mean, he'll hit bombs, but he'll also like go all the way right, all the way left. And some weeks he just doesn't have the putter. He's not putting well. So like he just needs to get hot.
He is hitting the ball further than he ever has before. He's just not like, which is for him as age, is like it's crazy because.
But again, that's not even
technology and his like new diet and everything like that. I mean, I could very well see him like doing well again, but I don't know.
It would be interesting to see how because obviously driving isn't like the biggest thing this week. It's like approach and putting
accuracy,
but it never hurts to hit the ball further. So maybe I mean like the approach is just going to get easier the further he hits it. So I think if I have to lean towards a side, it's definitely to buy.
I mean, also he is a course horse. I think he's won like 4 times in this event.
Yeah. So like if I had to lean one side, I think I would say he does well this week from what we've just kind of broke down there.
And he also won last year, so.
I would say he does like top 10, top 15 maybe.
Yeah. I feel like I've talked myself into it throughout this.
Yeah, I feel like I have too.
Yeah, maybe.
And then we got one from Patty B17. Is Jordan Spieth done as a top tier player?
This is a major contender. This is a very, very good question.
A Ryder President Cup guy, top 30 FedEx Cup guy. It's a good question. I mean, I hope not.
No, I hope not.
But here's the thing.
It's hard to believe in him right now, though. That's the thing. 20.
He's 26.
26.
Like, he's got, like, there's no way you can tell me that he's never gonna, like, you can confidently tell me he's never gonna win another major. He's never gonna win another Ryder or President's Cup.
He'll be in the Ryder Cup and President's Cup still. He'll probably be in the top 30 first. Like, he'll contend, like, the Masters will contend, like, every year. Every year he'll contend the Masters.
He's my favorite. He's like my favorite player, but like I don't I don't see it happening this year.
Well, at this point, you don't really trust him, but like, I think at some point, if he just keeps playing like he has been the last like year or so, he'll make some switches. He'll probably make some changes with his coaching and stuff like that. And like, I think he'll make
still the best putter on tour.
Yeah, and he'll make adjustments where he'll get his swing in the right place, and then you might start seeing an uptick for Jordan Spieth one year.
Well, here's the thing: like, there's years back. Like there was years in which Tiger was switching his swing around, which is what Jordan Spieth is doing. Like last year at the PGA, he was talking to some media after. He's like, I still don't really have it right now, and like and he's still going through some changes. So like, I mean, Tiger did the same thing, and he
happens like every now and then. People like have like years off.
Yeah, so like
people have years off before. Like he's 26 years old. He still has he'll be around for 20 more years. Like he'll still has so much golf.
Is done even the slightest. I think he could easily win another 5 majors. Like if you told me that, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I can see him. I can see him
not
winning,
5. You know what I'm saying though.
If you told me he won 5, I'd be surprised. If you told me he won like 2 more, I would take that. I think that's like 2 or 3, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if I meant 5, but you.
Yeah, you know it. I know
you
you
meant. Won a couple more majors. I wouldn't be surprised.
But like top 30 FedEx Cup, Ryder Cup, President's Cup, he'll be on a lot of those teams.
He'll get back to a consistent part of his game, and
he definitely will.
Be in that. And then we had Jay Jaklinski. I don't know if I said that right, but what he said. What do you think Victor Hovland's chances are at winning a major this year? I mean,
I don't think he wins one this year.
Masters last year, I guess, but like, so he's a dark horse there, I guess, but like.
I don't think he wins one this year.
Yeah, I don't think this is the year.
He's still pretty much a rookie on tour. Like he didn't fit by the whole year.
If there's one rookie, I think, or like kind of rookie, that I think has the best chance, it's Colin Morikawa.
I agree.
He's the most complete right now.
Yeah, but like I mean, Hovland's great too. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he definitely has a game to compete in a major.
He just gotta get more consistent, more.
I don't think this is a year, but he definitely has the game, and like I wouldn't be surprised if he was competing in one.
No. I don't think he's gonna win one, but if he's competing on Sunday, I would not be surprised at all.
I mean, my take is just there's too many like good players in the game right now where I just don't realistically see him winning one.
I agree.
This year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think between him and Matt Wolfe, I think Victor Hovland might have a better chance this year. I think Matt Wolfe isn't as consistent as Victor Hovland.
I agree.
Which also could technically, Matt Wolfe can get really hot with it, but I don't know. I think it's going to take more experience for a guy like Matt Wolfe. Maybe I'm just saying that because of his swing. So maybe I'm just biased, but. Not that I don't.
We'll see. I would love to see Morikawa, Wolfe, or Hovland do something big this year, but I just don't. This year might not be the year.
I mean, yeah. If you want to go with a bold prediction, like a bold prediction would be like Colin Morikawa win a major this year, because I think like it's not outlandish, but like it's.
He's the best chance of the 3 of them.
Yeah, he's just been playing the best.
Mm-hmm. And then we got a good one here from some guy named Peter Catalano.
Never heard of him.
Might or might not be related to Gregory here. He said, "What's your favorite golf-themed movie?"
Go ahead, Pat. I'm
going with The Legend of Bagger Vance.
That's not what I was expecting you to take.
Golf movie.
No.
I was not expecting you to take that.
That's why when we were discussing it before this, like we're discussing like. Jeek was like, "Oh yeah, there's only 3 good golf movies." I bet that's not one of the ones that you were.
It was not one of the ones. Yeah.
It was not one of the ones I was thinking of.
Exactly. So no, I love Legend of Bagger Vance. It has Will Smith, has Matt Damon.
I need to watch that. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, no, I think I watched like the second half of it recently because it was like just on when I was flipping channels, and it held up. Great movie.
I guess it's your favorite golf movie, huh?
It is. That's what I just said.
I guess I'm torn. I'm torn. I mean, obviously, I think Caddy Shack's the way to go. It's just like the classic golf movie. Like
it is.
When you say golf movie, that's the first thing that comes in my mind. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, there's also Happy Gilmore, but I was gonna say Caddy Shack better. I
might like Caddy Shack versus Happy Gilmore's a tough
Yeah, it
They're,
is
they're,
tough.
they're,
But I'm
they're,
just
they're,
gonna
very,
roll.
they're
I'm
very
gonna
they're
roll.
very similar types of movies.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll Caddyshack.
Caddyshack, gotcha. I'll go with the greatest game ever played. That was the one I was going with the whole time.
That's what you're going with.
Yeah,
Can't say I've ever seen it.
I know Shia LaBeouf.
it's
I'm gonna think.
that one's really really good.
All right, and then I told you this earlier. Space Jam, not
Yeah,
a golf
Space Jam.
movie, but is a
But
golf movie,
We will include that
but
as
not
the
a
best
golf movie.
It's
The
it's
guy-
a golf movie.
All I can picture right now is the guy digging up the hole in the green. Look,
Yeah.
It's a golf movie like Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
exactly. Yeah.
So
Great movie.
then there's just a little throw in here. I think we already have this one from
No, we didn't answer it
this
last week.
Todd Streeter guy. Because Todd Streeter said, "What is scarier, what is scarier, a Category 5 hurricane or Tiger in red down by 3 going to the Sunday at the Masters?"
I think this one's easy.
I think obviously this is an easy question, but I'll counter it with a question, another question. How many strokes would you need at Augusta National on Tiger to win
Oh my
going
god.
on to a Sunday in red? How many strokes?
25.
Well, you. Like
Oh,
in general, I would need like 70.
If
but-
I'm put 25, I mean, if I'm put 25 on Tiger and and he's in Sunday red and I'm playing against him, I'm gonna shoot 90 at best, very best.
And he's gonna shoot like
65. Yeah,
maybe
around
so,
there. We'll probably shoot like 65. It was like, and I'll probably shoot probably like 30. I'll probably shoot like 95.
Yeah, honestly, if I was down by anything less than like 40 strokes,
This
I
is
probably
with
wouldn't even
the
show
gallery.
up.
That's terrifying.
too. This is with the gallery.
With the
Like
gallery,
I have a 40 stroke lead
With
on
the
Tiger.
gallery?
I just won't show up.
If I had a 40-stroke lead on Tiger, I mean,
if this is with the gallery, I would shoot 100 at best.
you also just can't pick. You can't just pick up. You like
No, you
a
can't.
mental breakdown out there. Like you're
Jordan
in for a 30.
Spieth, Jordan Spieth on 12.
Well, hopefully the gallery will help me.
I would hit like 9 in the water.
Hopefully the gallery help me as like a boundary. So like in bowling when you put the bumpers
Oh
up,
yeah.
the gallery would
Those
be like my
stands.
bumpers. So I'll just like be able to hit the gallery or hit like the stands and stuff. And
I,
it'll,
I,
like, be in
I,
play.
I wouldn't be able to hit driver off a tee. I would be too nervous. I would top the driver. I would hit 3-iron off every tee.
I would need to give out like at least like 15 signed gloves to fans because I would hit so many of them.
You show a box of gloves in your
Yeah, just throw a box.
Just
of gloves
have
in
your
that little
caddy.
big
Just
pocket.
have a second caddy that's carrying like
just
like,
ready for
apparel.
gloves ready.
I already have done the signing pre-round. Yeah, I have them ready to go. Just toss them out.
You probably
They
just
hand-
probably,
they hand-
probably,
they hand
probably
them out
pack
to
up,
every fan on the way in.
10, 15 balls too, just to.
That way,
if
maybe
you
you'll
don't
get
hit
the
in
crowd
water.
behind you. I don't know.
Yeah, you know,
You-
I feel like
Yeah,
everybody
really
would
mad
clear
people.
out.
the
Though.
way in.
manly
I feel
people right there in the crowd.
People would not be nearly as confident, like standing near you. So like, as they are with like Tiger Woods or a pro.
Oh no, people like the
People
pros,
clear
you,
out,
you,
yeah.
you're staying like in like they're like if you're in like a country club and you're staying like in where some people stand when they're in like the woods, like you'd be like okay, I have to move back like a lot back.
I always like wonder that like when you see those videos from
Yeah.
like way right and there's like the gallery is like spreading out.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's
A lot
it's
of them are
not, it's not
taking
even the gallery
lines like
spraying out.
directly at people and
Yeah.
like they're going like right over them.
It's literally like the players like in this little like corner and like there's like the gallery is like just like has a little like alleyway for the player to hit and like I don't know how the player like doesn't like hit someone like on the right or left of the gallery. It doesn't make sense to me.
You experienced that with Choffman, right?
Choff.
At the PGA last year.
Oh, we
remember that.
did. Were you? I don't think Trevor was there.
Was
Uh,
that?
It was the other Trevor.
It was other Trevor.
Well, yeah, but
Shorter-
like
shorter with the jawline.
Choffman went all the way right, and like it was like right near us, and like he was like hitting as like we were surrounding him.
Yeah, he legitimately almost hit us as we were walking away from like the porta potties or something, and then he's like in the trees. I feel like we said something funny to him, but I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't remember a lot of that day, but
Choffman's a good guy too.
What? Because you had more than like two or three.
because it was just like way too early in the morning for me
Oh.
to process.
Oh wait, that way we actually did. You're right. Okay, never mind. I was thinking about the first day. Anyway, I think the Twitter fan questions did pretty well this week. I think it's the best.
Pretty good ones.
the best turnout for sure from some
Yeah.
fans.
Keep them
I'd say obviously keep them coming. I mean, that's sparked some great conversation. But once again, that'll lead us to our course preview correspondent, Gregory Catalano.
Thank you. All right. Hold the applause.
We should put some golf claps in, just like when
Yeah,
you
no,
say
Yes,
that.
exactly. Throw it in, G.
That's the only problem is I would.
And some quiet, please.
Quiet,
Like-
please.
Batons or whatever they are.
Yeah.
All right. So this week we got the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. This is another interesting tournament. 3 different courses again, which is just like so bad for DraftKings, but we'll go with it again. It will be 3 different rounds, one at Spyglass, one at Monterey Peninsula Country Club, and one at Pebble Beach. And then the Sunday will be at Pebble Beach again, and the cut will be after Saturday. The first course I'll go through is Spyglass. Is a par 72. It's 7,035 yards, so not that long comparatively. It's pretty much similar to Pebble, so I'll go to Pebble too. Pebble is a par 72. It's 6,816 yards this week because it's a Pro-Am, so it's a little bit shorter this week.
Right.
It's definitely the hardest of the 3, and if you're thinking about Pebble and you're thinking about the U.S. Open last year, don't think about that. It's going to be playing completely different than that because they make it much harder for the U.S. Open, obviously. There'll be low rough this week and favorable pin placements, except for maybe Sunday. The greens are very small, though, in Pebble, so that's something to watch out for. And then Monterey Peninsula Country Club, par 71, 6,958 yards. Definitely the easiest of the 3. Has really large fairways. Like you almost have to aim to miss if you're going to miss the fairways. And the rough is only cut to 2 inches, which is nothing, especially for a pro. Important stats to look at this week will definitely be strokes gained approach, just based on the fact that all the courses have small greens. And then proximity from 100 to 125 yards is an important stat based on like previous rounds. That seems to be where most guys are hitting their approach shots. And also strokes gained around the greens. Weather could be very important this week. The course plays significantly harder when it's windier. So that's why when you look at the final scores of tournaments every year, it kind of varies. It's gonna be cold this week. Early tee times could be as low as 44 degrees, which is not what we're used to, and it will rise to about 60 degrees, but it's still kind of cold. Thursday through Saturday seems like it's gonna be pretty favorable conditions, pretty normal wind. But Sunday, they're predicting right now, this could totally change. They're predicting that winds could reach up to 18 miles per hour and maybe even more. So watch out for Sunday. That could be interesting down the stretch. Course horses this week. Dustin Johnson always plays well here. Phil Mickelson, defending champ, has multiple top 10s. I think he's won 4 times. And Brent Snedeker also sneakily plays pretty well at Pebble. The last 3 winners, Phil Mickelson, Ted Potter Jr., and Jordan Spieth. And yeah, that's course preview for this week.
Give him a round of applause real quick.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a lot of information to digest. But
especially since there's 3 courses.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a lot of information. But at the same time, if you're looking to do some research, not just take only our picks, they didn't do too well last week. Then you can take this information we're giving you and literally it makes doing your research so much easier. You just look for specific stats from players, and usually it works out. So, right before we get into our DFS picks, they're brought to you by Caddy once again. I've been using it a lot recently, even though it's only been 30 degrees in Syracuse. Just you can attach it anywhere. You can attach it to a table. You can attach it to your shower curtain. Go cop it for the summer or the spring, wherever you are. It's promo code PINHIGH for 20% off, and you're already getting it for $20 off already. It's an extra. That's basically $40 off or whatever. I'm not very much of a math guy, but go get it in an Caddy. So who wants to start?
I guess I'll go. So, all right, first pick this week, I'm going to go with Max Homa at 8,300. He was a T6 last week at the Waste Management and a T9 the week before at the Farmers Insurance. So 2 top 10s in the last 2 weeks. He played really well in the last round. I think he was like 7 under. Putted really, really well. So I'm just gonna kind of stick with the hot hand, the hot putter, and I think Max Homa could be a good pick this week just based on his form.
All right, I'll go second. I'll do Graeme McDowell. He won the U.S. Open here at Pebble 2010. 9th in strokes gained approach this week, which, as Greg said, is a very important stat. And he won last week in the Saudi International Open, or Saudi International on the European Tour, which is his first win in a long time there. So he's definitely in form coming into this week. And he has so much experience here. I think he'll do pretty well.
So before I reveal my first pick, obviously we didn't have a great week at the Waste Management, but as I've been looking through our information, I think this is going to be a good week for us.
I also agree.
First one's going to be
confident.
First one's going to be my lower salary guy that I have, and that's Jimmy Walker at 7,200. This is priced pretty low. I mean, you compare it with pretty much anybody for what his history is here. This course, of course, emphasizes approaches and putting, and he's lost strokes off the tee in 10 of his last starts, but he's on fire with his irons, and he's made the cut at Pebble 9 of the last 10 years with a win and 4 top 10s. So for 7,200, I mean, also the Poa greens are his preferred surface, so 7,200, that's pretty good value at a guy that could put up a top 10. I mean, he's made 5 out of 10 top 10s here with a win. So
you again.
Snake draft. All right. So I'm gonna go with Jason Day at 10,300, and we don't typically go with high salary guys on this podcast, but I feel like this is one. The last time we gave out Justin Thomas and he won. So I'm pretty confident Jason Day this week. He hasn't finished worse than T11 here in the past 6 years, and he's number 1 in strokes gained around the green. And obviously, approach is going to be key all of this week. He's gotten the putter going recently. Driver's been a little shaky, but I mean the approach should make up for that as well as the putting. I think he contends definitely to this one.
Yeah,
he just put up a T16 at Farmers Insurance, and he was just coming back, getting into it. So he'll be out in full force.
Yeah, like you said, he has so much experience there. He's a lock to do really well there.
Definitely.
All right, I'll go Alex Noren, who's actually my boy because I met him back in 2011 at the PGA in Rochester, New York, at dinner. Before he was good, or before he was top 15, top 20 in the world. But he's at A700, and he's, as Greg said, strokes gained around the green, strokes gained approach are very important stats. And he's 8th in strokes gained around the green, 18th in strokes gained approach. It's a great combination, and he's always a solid ball striker. Doesn't hit the ball too far, but doesn't really matter here. Always a solid ball striker, and it works out for Pebble Beach greens really well. So hopefully he does pretty well. And him with Graeme McDowell, I think that's a good pairing. As Pat said, Gene Walker and Jason Day are a good pair too with that salary.
I feel like Alex Noren's one of those guys that always sneaky gets it, a top 5 somehow.
Exactly. You don't really see much of him. You don't really hear much of him, but he always does decent.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my second pick, I'm gonna stay with the good ball striker approach, and I'm gonna go with Brandon Grace at 9,000. He was actually low key T9 last week at the Waste Management. I don't really know where he came from, but he was. He sits just outside the top 20 in strokes gained approach, which is pretty good for this year. And he's also top 20 in the greens and regulation, which I think is an important stat, even though I didn't mention it before, but that's always a good stat to be at. And like I said, he's a great ball striker. He's 15th in approach from 120 to 125 yards, which is one of the stats that I singled out this week. So, I mean, good ball striker. I think even if it gets windy, I think he'll still be able to play pretty well. So I think Brandon Grace is a pretty good pick this week.
And with the wind there, he hits the ball really low. So he always avoids the wind pretty much.
Exactly.
So, he's playing
I mean,
it's golf.
if you look at the last couple of weeks of like people who've won, it's been people who are good ball strikers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Mark Leishman is the number 1 ball striker on the tour right now. And he won 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was. We're not going to be doing a par 3 segment this week. Those are pretty hard to come up with. When we don't have.
Do you have
one
any
for this
ideas?
week.
I mean, we have some, but like
We have some, but they require a little more research. We'll tease that. But send them in Instagram, Twitter, DMs, really anything. If you have any ideas, anybody who's listening to this who sent in Twitter fan questions this week, you guys did a great job. So like, if you could come with a par 3 segment, that would be fantastic. But we'll also rack our brains a bit more to do that. But other than that, we'll see you guys next week. Follow us on social media, on everything, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok if you're into that. We'll see you next week after the Pebble Beach.